Guys, in today's video I'm going to demo the Smashbox Ablaze face palette. There's two palettes. There's one that's called the Cali palette, I think it's called. I'll put the name up here, and the Ablaze face palette. I went for the Ablaze one because it is on the deeper side. I went in store to check out the Cali one. It was a little bit too light for my liking for my skin tone. So this is the palette that I went with. This retails for $39, and I think I found mine at Ulta, if I'm not mistaken. I did have to look around in Ulta stores to see, you know, who had it, because not everybody had it. All right, so this palette here has two matte bronzers, two blushes. The top blush here has a bit of super fine shimmer, so there is a sheen, and I will show you guys a clip of me demoing the top row because I've already recorded that. Today I am going to be using the bottom row. This blush right here at the bottom is matte, and it's more of an orangey coral. It is highly pigmented. And then you have two highlights. This one here is more of a peachy pink. It's a peach, but it has super fine pink. It looks like shimmers, so you get that reflex, kind of duo reflex on the cheekbones. It's not like a duochrome highlight, but you do see that little bit of a reflex. It's really pretty. And the one at the bottom is gold. I thought I was gonna really like the gold one in this palette, and I do. I think it's pretty, but I actually kind of like this one. Funny enough, because I'm not into the highlights that kind of shift and stuff like that, but I think it looks really pretty. So I'm gonna get into this bottom row here, and I'm gonna grab this guy right here first with my favorite bronzing brush, which is my e.l.f. complexion brush, and I'm just going to start by stamping this on the outer part of the face. And this bronzer, it has a bit more of this reddish tone. You see that? I have used both of the bronzers together, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll reach for the lighter one and put it all over the hollows of my cheeks and even bring it up into my cheek area, and then concentrate this one more towards the back of the hollows of my cheeks by my ear area. I'm also going to add it here to the sides of my nose and right at the edge right there by my hairline. I didn't think I was gonna like the light one quite as much because I didn't know if it was gonna show up on me, because it is a lot lighter, but it does show up on me. In the summer, I don't think that one, the lighter one, will show up on me too much. Just adding some of that bronzer under the jawline here and behind my ears because I have short hair. I'm gonna pick up this guy right here, and I am gonna tap some of that on the back of my hand because it is pretty pigmented. Do you guys see the ginormous mountain right here? I wore my glasses. I wear them regularly, but I forgot to clean them, and I had worn makeup the day before. And whenever I do that, you know, this happens. I totally forgot. I like to clean my glasses constantly, especially in this little area. I forgot. So now I have like 3 pimples in one. Look at that beast. And this, you can see the blush here, and this is with me tapping off some of it on the back of my hand. I'm gonna pick up this little fan brush here, and I'm gonna pick up this guy. I usually like gold highlights, but this one for some reason is pretty. It's just not my favorite. And I'm just going to put it in the usual areas. I do feel like I need to buff it in very, very well, especially in this area. So otherwise I can see the line here and then where it stops. Not a fan of that. But again, as the day goes on, I feel like it really warms up into the skin and it blends a little. It looks better as the day goes on. But I want that initial look as well. I am gonna add a little bit more blush. I feel like I need a little bit more. I went so light with it. I'm gonna pop up the video of the demo of me applying this top row, and I'll be talking about my thoughts overall on this palette, because it's not my favorite. I feel like they can improve on the formula for sure. So I'll start off with this top row since the video will be playing on that. This lighter bronzer, I was wondering whether or not it was going to show up on me. It does show up on me, and it shows up on me very nicely. Right now in the winter when I'm at my fairest, I think it faintly shows up on me, but it looks super natural. So I really enjoy this guy. I think the quality is really great. It's a matte formulation again. This blush here is not my favorite. And it's not my favorite because it has this little sheen. So whenever I have used it on its own, and I think it looks okay, but I kind of like it better topped over this guy. So more than anything, I like using it as a blush topper. The issue that I have with it when I use it by itself is I feel like I do see the pigment a little bit, but more than anything, I see the sheen, and I would like to see both, you know, like a good balance between both, and I'm not really getting that. It could be my skin tone that brings, like, you can see the little reflex a little bit more than I see the color. So not a super fan about that. I also feel like it's not quite as smooth on the skin. It almost breaks up a little bit, but I feel like overall with any of the little shimmer like this blush here or these highlights here, initially they almost look like they're broken up on the skin and add texture where I don't have any, but as the day goes on, I feel with the warmth of your skin, it helps smooth it out. So with time, within an hour or so, I feel like it kind of looks like it's fused into the skin. So gotta give it a little bit of time. This highlight here, initially I was not a fan of it, and I wasn't a fan of it because it has this peach and then super fine pink little particles in it that add that little shift on the cheekbones, and I'm not usually a fan of stuff like that. I want like a solid tone highlight, but I actually ended up liking it. I ended up liking it in time as I used it. Some days I enjoyed it, some days I didn't. Same quality, kind of like this guy, where it breaks up a little bit, but with the warmth of your skin, it kind of fuses into the skin a little bit better. I ended up liking the little shift that it had. I thought it looked really beautiful. Like this, when I use this top row by itself, I think it looks very soft and really, really pretty. Moving on to this bottom row here, although I love the color of this bronzer here because it's more reddish tone, and I love it, especially more in this, like in this particular area. I really love it. I do though feel that this guy here gets a little bit patchy. Every time that I've used it, I see a little faint, but I see a little patchiness. Like I see it right in this area right now. I see it in this area as well. I feel when I have used these two together, I'll go in with this guy first and then this guy. It doesn't happen to me as much, so maybe going in with a transition color, for instance like a lighter bronzer first, and then going in with this guy, which I think I mentioned I've used it like that before, where I'll go in with this guy in majority of the hollows of my cheeks, and then I'll concentrate this guy more towards the back. I prefer it more. I do like using it by itself, but it kind of bothers me that it looks a little bit broken up in this area. I don't think it should do that for a $40 palette. I don't think I should be going through that. This blush here, the pigmentation is freaking awesome. I did have to be careful. I think the first time that I applied it, it was super pigmented. I went a little bit ham with it. So going in with a brush like this and then tapping it to the back of the hand and then going in on the cheeks and then tapping back into the back of the hand to pick up a little bit more and then going onto the cheeks, I find that that has applied it better for me. I think it's a nice palette. I don't completely love it though. I only have my Becca x Chrissy Teigen palette, which is the only other palette that I own that has a bronzer, blush, and a highlight all in one. Although the Becca one has one blush and one bronzer, to where here you get two of each. I feel like the quality of that one is a lot smoother, to where this one I feel like it almost needs a little bit of help. Maybe spritzing your face with a setting spray or like a Fix Plus or something like that. It does help out the warmth of your skin, helps it out as the day goes on, because I have worn it many times, and as the day goes on I do enjoy how it looks on my skin. I just feel like initially, especially the highlights for me, they break up a little bit. So that is everything for this video, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.